Yep. Welcome everyone to the Film Vault. That's Anderson. I'm Bryan Bishop, your hosts. Top 5 time today. Top 5 movies about tech. Top 5 tech movies. Top 5 movies where tech plays a driving force in the narrative. And it's not about you, but this is one where actually you have to have some criteria. And I think mine...
Yeah, you do.
No, but like usually
Don't most lists have criteria?
No, but what I'm saying is sometimes it's right
Black
there.
Beauty is probably not going to be on my list.
Right there in the title, like bad gun handling scenes. Like it is what it is. There's not a lot of criteria here.
There's a lot of criteria with that. What do you mean?
What I'm saying is,
you can split hairs. What you're
yes,
saying.
I didn't include any that are fantastical technology. You know what I mean? Like Star Wars, like nothing.
Or
Back
to the Future.
Yes, a good example. That's like pseudoscience.
I doubt it's on your list, but I had Primer on my list for a second, and I'm
yes,
like, you know what? No, yeah, it's fictitious. However, my number one. I mean, there might be a day.
Okay.
Oh no, I like when our criteria does match up, and we do have similar criteria and similar rules that we're following. But what can you do?
And this, of course, comes on the back of BlackBerry.
Yes, that
Very
was
good film that inspired this list.
That's right. I'm surprised because I pitched this as the idea right after. Well, actually, might have been watching BlackBerry, and I paused to. I'm like, we got to do top 5 tech movies. Right. This is an amazing tech movie. Can't wait to search for other tech movies that might hold a candle to this one, because this would be top 5 if it wasn't, this. If BlackBerry didn't come out this week, this is one of my favorite tech movies I've ever seen. To continue to oversell BlackBerry, but I sent you a text saying, all right, top 5 tech movies about technology for this week.
I replied.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, well, good.
No, that's not what you replied. I
think I said good choice, inspired.
You don't really think you said that?
I forget what I said.
You said lame.
That's
all you wrote back.
The
and
opposite.
Then nothing after that, and I just had to assume until getting here today that that's what we were doing.
I like you to experience the show like the listeners do when it pops into their downloads or whatever in their
that's
in their
the
app.
topic. Yeah.
It's like, that's what we're doing.
He's very invested in all parts of the show.
There's going to come a day, Avery, where I show up and I'm doing my own topic, and he's just not a part of it.
He's seen no movies.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing this show.
Oh, we're doing it today?
Bryan, you remind me of a showrunner. If I had to guess.
How so?
If I had to guess what you do for a living, why don't you ever plug your La Maga show?
Avery, put it in the show notes.
It was an interesting little story about you getting invited to
crazy,
a influencer dinner.
That's wild.
And it was wild.
What?
Yeah. It's quite the story. I don't know which episode that was, but I listened to it, and it's funny to what.
Do I have to hear La Maga? Am I supposed to?
You should take a listen to that one at least.
You know what? I'm going to quote a great podcaster and say, I'll talk about that more in the After Disaster.
I thought for sure you were going to quote yourself right there. Hey, come on the After Disaster. Tell some more stories. Tell some stories about that. Yeah.
I'd love that. Call in.
It was a good story. It's a show that he does with Gina Grad, and it's for LA Magazine somehow, even though there's another podcast for LA Magazine out there. Don't confuse it with that one. This is the LA Magazine podcast. And even though I was very mad.
I thought you'd be disgusted.
I was very mad that it's hosted by 2 transplants, but then the more I thought about it, I'm like, that's so LA. It should have 2 transplants, right?
It's certainly the LA that you see and hear about most.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not going to talk about growing up in LA.
And of course, when I listen to it, I'm raging with the disinformation that I hear, because I'm an LA guy,
Sure.
Bryan, I'm born and raised. So when Bryan's saying that his favorite place, he said this, which infuriated me. He's like,
the question, a great plug.
I love the show. The question was, any quiet places, nice peaceful places in Los Angeles? That was the question that was posed. And Bryan said, no, not for free. Every place that's quiet and peaceful in LA, you have to pay for it. I'm like thinking,
I do believe that.
I do. What? And then he goes, my one place that I would say during my time in 97.1, I lived over by here, and I would go to the Marina del Rey beaches and lay down and recharge. And I'm like, Marina del Rey has 0 beaches. It goes Venice, the Marina, which is technically Marina del Rey, and then Playa del Rey beaches. There's no Marina del Rey beaches at all.
What's at the end of Washington? Is that where like CNO is?
Playa del that side is Venice.
What about just south of that?
That's Playa del Rey.
Okay, then I went to Playa.
Oh, yeah, you went to Playa. But I'm just thinking LA Magazine. I hope Garagos isn't here.
LA Magazine. There is not one goddamn
Peaceful place that
to
you don't.
find some peace and
Yeah.
quiet. We're not shelling out your heart.
You can't get away. If you want to pay for it, you can get peace and quiet all day.
But that's not what I was. The episode that I most recently heard was very interesting and it's shocking to me because I feel like I guess most of the time we're talking into
I
microphones.
thought you would have genuinely been disgusted.
Oh, I was absolutely disgusted, but that's why I was also shocked that you didn't bring this to my attention because you like to see me disgusted.
That's true. That is true.
Yes.
Brian got an email from like an unknown source
I got an out of the blue email.
inviting them to an influencer dinner. And there was like instructions.
But it wasn't like influencer, like gross influencer, like TikTok. It was like,
It wasn't like women I'd be interested in.
It was like this is a dinner for interesting people that we do.
Well,
every,
disgusted. I'm now disgusted.
yeah, who have influence in their industry or whatever. Yeah, and it was
Not a lot of TNA at this one.
I was immediately about to delete it, but I said to Christy, I'm like, is this real? She looked it up and she's like, yeah, this guy does these dinners.
Yeah. And Brian went, and it was an interesting story that he tells on La Maga. So listen to La Mag.
Did you influence anyone?
That's very nice of you.
That episode.
I doubt very much. I don't think I influenced anyone to do anything. I tried to influence someone to option my book, but it didn't go well.
Really?
I mean, it was an offhanded joke.
I was walking through the wine section at Costco, if you must know, while I was listening to the part where you were talking. And literally, I was walking
you
through the
had a
wine
Bryan
section.
week too. I watched Air. You were
Wow.
you were listening to La Maga.
I do
picking
have
out wine.
influence.
And Brian was telling, he was boasting about, well, this is going
Was
into
it the
negative
wine that I
plug.
brought?
This is going to negative plug territory again, which I'm not trying to. But he was telling Gina that he thinks he's the only person who showed up to the party with anything in hand.
I think
and
it was.
He went out of his way to bring he's like, it would have been easy to bring a very expensive, fancy wine, right? But I thought I'd bring one with story.
Yeah, interesting.
And I brought this wine that, they smuggled the seeds of the grape out of France
vines,
generations ago. And I'm like, as I'm walking through Costco, like looking for a $5 Pinot, which I think is great. And I'm like, we couldn't be more different. Brian and I could not be more different.
The bottle's only like $40.
Only. If I were to drink a $40 bottle of wine, I'm celebrating something massive because that is so GD.
Atticus graduating high school.
I have a $70 bottle of beer that Better Brian sent me like 2 years ago, probably, and it's just sitting there waiting for.
You'd have to win an
Atticus's
Oscar for you.
I don't deserve that beer. It just seems so like gratuitous for me to drink something like that I'm going to urinate. It just
You know what? I'm going to bring a $40 bottle of wine to our watch along. I'm going to celebrate Beastmaster.
I might have to celebrate some Beastmaster because it's goddamn great. It is so great, Brian. Have you not seen Beastmaster?
I've not seen Beastmaster.
You've not seen the Beastmaster.
I don't think I was allowed.
You're gonna be you're gonna be shocked that it's PG. You're gonna be like, children are allowed to watch.
Children,
Well,
we're
with
encouraged.
guidance or with the parental guidance.
Have you seen the Beastmaster?
I have not.
It's all one word. Don't be confused. The Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
We'll be watching that.
I don't
day.
think this was permitted during my childhood.
May
probably.
24th.
Because I don't think I was allowed.
probably
It's funny
screened
because
out.
PG does mean parental guidance.
Yeah.
So people think it means nowadays, let your kids see whatever you want. But like, parents guide your
They need
kids
to-
maybe away from this film.
guide their eyes away
Yeah.
at certain scenes, like especially when the big wing dudes are turning your body into bones. Horrifying. When the eyeball gets stuck with the stick.
I'm excited for that.
When the child gets hurled into the fire. There is an eagle that comes in and some marmots, some ferrets that save the day. All right, excited to watch the Beastmaster. All right.
Thanks for listening to the show, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's fun to be enraged, and I get to text you now because you're always texting me when
That's
you
right.
listen after this. I was giggling as the show opened tonight. I don't know if you detected that,
I
but
did.
apropos of nothing, as you would like to say, I was at a red light on the freeway off ramp to get to your house to the show tonight, to the studio, and I looked to my right while sitting at the red light on the off ramp, and I noticed some graffiti, and it said I love, and then it said a couple letters, and then the rest was crossed out.
Okay.
I'm like, what did that used to say?
What do they love?
And after I had like 4 minutes of LA red light, I was able to decipher. It said I love abortions.
Oh my.
Somebody wrote I love abortions,
Get
and
that
somebody
drop
was
in there.
so
Don't mind if it.
somebody somebody was so incensed by that, and I like to think that it was a conservative person was incensed,
Right.
and they went out and got themselves some paint and might have gone under the cover of night, and they didn't even censor the whole thing, and they just censored the
Certain parts.
starting at O. They left the AB there, which It's
The first man over 65 to do graffiti.
it's a mystery to me. Though why not cross out the whole thing?
Yeah.
I want to know
That's
the
a
story.
concerned mom.
Who wrote "I love abortions" to begin with? I mean, who's going to write that?
Who loves them?
Who loves them?
Even if you're in favor, I
I
don't
mean,
think you love
sometimes
them.
it's a means to an end.
I suppose if you're a doctor, maybe that's how you make your living.
Yeah, if you're like Dr. Kermit. Dr. Kermit, that guy
Wow.
that was like he was doing 9-month-old. All right, 9 months. Yeah, you
Forgot about Dr.
End of
Kermit.
end of third the later stages. All right, I love
Uplifting.
abortions. Who writes that? L.A. It's a strange place. All right, let's get to our movies.
Let's do it. I mentioned the thing on the last episode. I got some documentaries peppered in here because there's some good ones about tech. Number 5, documentary.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I remember not even loving this movie. Like, it's okay, but it is a very ingenious look at what may be a guy who was ahead of his time technologically. We're going all the way back to Tim's Vermeer. Remember
Oh.
Tim's Vermeer.
We just got to sign that because I have not seen it. I assume that you had not seen it, so
Oh, I have seen it.
We're going to need to find
Oh, it's you know what though? Hey, assign it to Anderson and assign me something else because it's solid. It's something.
It's
you should
Travis
see.
Barry. It just assigned it to us. And,
That's funny.
Yeah, we're gonna have to because I wanted to see Tim's Vermeer. It's one of those movies that I hear
Wait,
about.
you didn't
sometimes.
see it?
I've never seen.
I talked about it on the show. The guy, Tim, the titular Tim, and the movie's directed by Teller, of Penn and Teller, and it's about Tim.
Oh God!
What?
I'm so glad I'm dodging a bullet.
Why?
I don't want to see anything remotely associated with Teller.
It's not Teller, it's Penn.
Fucking hate
Oh, yeah.
Penn. Penn, I hate him.
No, it's not Penn, it's Teller. I messed up.
It's the guy that talks.
The guy who doesn't talk is the one who directed.
Oh, I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tim Jennison invented the TriCaster. You know what that is, Anderson?
Oh, yeah. I used to use it.
Yeah, TriCaster is a video editing, live video editing device.
Almost consumer use.
It is?
Well, the TriCaster, like the cheaper models that came
Oh,
out. Yeah.
I didn't know that. They used to use them for like sports broadcasts.
Yeah, they use them.
They would
like,
go between multiple cameras live.
because the TriCaster. Okay, all right. Yeah, I didn't know that they called them TriCasters in professional use as well. Because the one that, all right, they have cheap versions of them.
You might know more about this than me. This is as much as I know.
Okay,
You're the tech guy.
I had no idea that's what Tim's
never.
Vermeer is about.
No, it is not.
Oh,
So Tim's Vermeer is about Tim, the guy who invented TriCaster. He has since retired, a very wealthy man, and now he follows his folly. And his true folly, despite being a geeky tech guy, is art. He loves art, and he wants to recreate a Vermeer. Johannes Vermeer, one of the Dutch masters, he has a bizarre obsession with recreating one of Vermeer's masterpieces. And he's having a lot of trouble doing it. Number one, he's not an artist. But number two, he's having trouble like mastering a lot of the techniques. He recognizes like this is something that we'd see in like a camera. Like you can't actually detect this with like the naked eye. And he comes to realize, or comes to theorize, because it's never proven, but he comes to theorize that Vermeer may have been more of a sort of tech geek than an artist. I mean, he was an artist, but the guy
what
was
year
using
was he from?
Vermeer.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Avery, look it up.
1600s.
I'm going to guess a little later, but yes, in like 1700s.
Would a bone used by a monkey, say, or an ape, say, in 2001, would that technically be considered?
Yes.
Early
Tech.
1650s.
Nice. Look at you. Yes, I actually considered that for my list, 2001. There was too much fantastical stuff in the second half, but it is about like,
Fantastical.
fantasy. You know what I mean? Like,
Really?
Stuff that doesn't
We're
exist.
close, man.
Not in 1968. Anyway,
but now-
Yeah, my answer is
Oh,
yes.
you're going to hate my number one. Hate it.
Sorry, buddy. Anyway, so he comes to theorize that Vermeer may have been sort of more of a tech geek than an artist who used a lot of way ahead of his time techniques with mirrors and reflections and magnifying glass and things to
Interesting.
enhance his paintings. Whereas like a guy like Van Gogh was just a wildly talented artist who was painted. Vermeer may have used a lot of what it would be at the time very advanced technology.
Or maybe he's from the future.
Maybe he was, and maybe he's wrong. But it was an interesting case.
Sounds like a lonely man.
He is solo most of the time. At one point, he almost kills himself because he has a heat lamp going in the garage, and that is almost causes him to asphyxiate.
Jesus Christ, that got sad real fast. Jillian and I are kind of obsessed with this man. I'm not going to name names, but he's responsible for something that's very large, and we just discovered this person and this thing, but
Okay.
This is very cryptic.
I know, but in looking, like, we were trying to figure out his motivation for, it's the guy that created the house, the one they call it, which is supposed to be the most expensive house ever made in urban. It's 105,000 square feet in the top of Bel Air, and they had a price tag at $500 million. And we watched this dumb little YouTube like tour of it, and we were just kind of fascinated by the guy that the developer that created it and owned it for a second. And we were looking up his past. Julian looked up his past, and we got the sense that he was like lonely. Kind of sad, even though like he's so successful. And he created an app called, I think it's called the Wolf Pack or something. And it was,
Oh, that sounds lonely already.
it was
Ironically.
it was like an app, like a social media app for guys to find wingmen to go out with.
Oh.
So like if you're a dude who wants to go out and like look for ladies, but you don't have any bros to go out with,
Oh no.
you could go on the social media
Oh dear.
and find some dudes that are also looking for ladies. And I would imagine that they have like filters. So like, do you like brunettes? Because I like blondes.
It's like, do you want to be the wingman or do you want to be the point man?
Or like we'll trade off. Like, yeah,
Sure.
But the idea to even,
Yeah, I'm tall, you're short, I'm black, you're white.
yeah, like we'll
We'll
play
have no overlap.
no overlap at all. But the idea to even
Everybody just
think of,
described himself.
I forget where that came from or why.
I was the
I
first
brought
one to
that.
download the app.
Why did I bring that up?
The Wolfpack, the house.
Lonely
but-
man.
Oh, because you were
Typical
talking,
lonely man.
Obsessed
Tim's
with this man.
Vermeer, and he seems lonely too. Going, do you think Vermeer might have been technologically inspired? Judging from these reflections, I got a theory. Okay,
It's interesting.
number 5 for me. I got a tie at number 5 because I don't know if Pirates of the Silicon Valley, even though I've had it on lists before, I don't know if you'll give it to me because it is a made-for-TV movie, but it is a movie.
But it's right there. You know, it's right there, the subject.
Pirates of the Silicon Valley is kind of where it all began as far as telling stories about this like modern day tech and the technological age. And it's one of these movies that should not be good. It should be cheesy as hell and it should not be enjoyable, but damn, it goes down smooth. And you can attest to this, yes?
No, I still have not seen this. I gotta track this down. I don't watch TV and movies.
So
generally.
you rate movies on their enjoyability, right?
That's right.
Yeah, well, you're going to love this one. Anthony Michael Hall and Noah Wiley play versions of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. And and then we got Steve Wozniak is in there as well. And it just goes
not
down
streaming. It's got to be YouTube.
Pirates of the Silicon Valley,
That's
Pirates
right.
of the Silicon Valley, 1999. And then just to make sure that I have one that's relevant.
An actual movie.
They're both movies, but you and I both really, really enjoyed Disconnect.
Oh, that's my number 4.
All right, well, let's get.
Hey,
I
what
love
are the
that. Let's
chances?
get right into it.
Disconnect, number 4 for me. Number 5 for Anderson, 2013 film directed by Henry Alex Rubin, director of Murderball. Speaking of excellent documentaries, Disconnect, yes, is about how technology is infiltrating our lives and in most respects in this film, making our lives worse. And it's sort of the lesson, I guess, the moral, the whatever, the message is, maybe we should all just disconnect.
Yeah, it was 2012, so it was not that long after the smartphones were in everybody's hands. And this is the first movie that I remember seeing them tackle the challenge of illustrating how texts are, because so much of our communication is text all of a sudden, right? Like, and before you would show communication,
It's instantly ubiquitous.
people would be talking, right, through dialogue, and you would just have them speak. But now so much communication happens through emails or texts, more so. And they, in this movie, Henry Alex Rubin, he put the text actually on the screen so we can actually see it pop up. And I remember I'd never seen that. Now it's old hat. You see it all the time. But it was the first time I'd ever seen that. And this is the first movie that I saw actually tackle the idea of everyone living through their phones and having to, disconnect from their families to connect with their friends, but they're not really connected. It was tackling all these really big issues that continue to be even more an issue today, but way back when. And I really enjoyed that.
Just that underrated movie. Are we the only ones who talk about this movie? I've never been in a conversation with my film-loving friends that Disconnect has come up.
It's a really good movie.
It's
And
solid.
I wonder if it holds up though, because I have not seen it since it came out, and that's 11
years
years
old
ago.
this
It
movie, yeah.
might seem a little dated, but at the time it seemed like
Cutting edge.
important almost,
Yeah.
right? Like more people need to actually think about some of this stuff. Jason Bateman plays a very concerned father. You got Alexander Skarsgård in there.
Andrea
Before.
Rice, a recent Oscar nominee, Andrea Riseborough.
I'm gonna expose myself for being stupid. I've been meaning to look it up, and I keep forgetting. Skarsgårds. They all related.
Yes.
Yes.
They're all like brothers.
Yes.
Really?
Well, the Stellan is the dad.
It's not like Skarsgård is just Johnson over there.
It might be.
I don't,
But,
but I don't think so.
yeah,
But
I
at the
don't-
very least, they're all related.
I don't know that to be true. I do know they are related. They are.
Should have
brothers.
probably looked this up off air to
I
kind
think
of
there's like
keep some,
7 of them.
some street cred. Because now I'm exposing myself of knowing very little about actors. You know what I mean?
It's on brand.
I don't know much about actors. Robert De Niro is one. He's good too.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
not a Skarsgård.
Stop there.
I'm just trying to show that I know about actors.
All right, what's your number 4?
All right, number 4 for me goes a little something like this. We're going back to 1983, Brian, and this is where Hollywood wanted to take a look at AI. And what if AI is just stupid and a concrete thinking
Can't actually
AI
learn.
can learn, but can't understand the difference between games
Right.
and war.
Ah,
They're calling it war games here. We're talking about 1983's War Games is about tech. It's about the concerns of AI, essentially, being in charge of everything. Much different approach than the James Cameron took with Terminator. He's like, well, let's take war games, but put it in like, an actual physical
machine,
form.
yeah.
Yeah, rather than just a chess playing idiot who could, push the button.
Can't
So-
differentiate between a simple game and actual nuclear
And that's-
devastation.
That's the whole thing, because AI's, no matter how much we put into it, it's always going to be a sociopath, right?
this might be a foolish question. Does this still hold up? I have not seen
You know
it.
what? I saw this semi-recently.
I saw it not too long ago. Yeah, it held up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 1983, but the story cooks.
yeah. It's still you care about the characters, you care about the story. The pacing's there, the stakes are real. Yeah, I'd say that this.
Love it.
Even the final showdown scene, should be silly, but it actually works dramatically.
I remember at the time buying all this stuff, the rewatch. And this is true. Not being able to buy the fact that they let him do what they let him do. I think that they would have shut him down and the world probably would have exploded. I think they would have said, "Get this fucking kid out of here." You know what I mean? That didn't really hold up as an adult watching it.
Right. That was done for the screen.
Yeah, for the screen. I think.
But that said, aside from the tech, which is silly by today's standards, dramatically holds up.
War Games, everybody. Is it
Yeah.
streaming anywhere?
I'm all I watched it.
Classic war. Hey, Terminator. Speaking of, I don't think Terminator's on your list, right?
Number 3 for me, Terminator.
Is it?
It is on Paramount Plus and Showtime.
Ooh.
Ugh.
I just got Paramount Plus. For
Yeah.
T-Mobile, apparently you just get Paramount
You
Plus
just get it.
for like a year at least. Why make the Terminator with the legs in it? I guess because they have to assimilate.
Yeah, they have to they have to infiltrate.
Because you would think rolling around would be a lot easier than walking on 2 legs. Okay.
They tried that, and you can see that in Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
Okay.
It was all war, weapons of war.
Same with Ed 209. Like, why give him 2 feet? Why not just give him tread? You know what I mean?
Especially when he encounters stairs.
Yeah. See, forgot to program that part.
Immediately. What should you imagine? There'd be some stairs in warfare. Certainly urban combat.
He's so powerful. He sees stairs. He just obliterates them and then walks over them.
Just goes right for the
Turns to
elevator.
rubble.
All right. So yeah, John Bedham's War Games is my number. What is that for? Yes.
Solid choice. Number 3 for me. I'm doing my best this week.
Badham, not Bedham. Badham. Sorry.
Another one that doesn't come up too often. I think we both enjoyed it though. We Live in Public. Oh, remember We Live in Public?
It's great. Yeah,
It is.
it's great. And it was a last minute ad for me as far as also runs. I almost completely forgot it. Great pull, Brian.
We Live in Public is a 2009 documentary directed by Andy Timoner, the director of your favorite Dig.
Dig, so
Dig,
good. Have you
yeah.
seen that Dig yet?
I've not.
Oh, Dig with exclamation marks.
Exclamation point.
Great music doc. Not the best music doc. Devil Daniel Johnson's the best for my money, but really good documentary that I think you would like about the Jamestown Massacre, Jamestown Massacre, and the Moody Blues?
No.
The Dandy Warhols.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moody Blues is a very different band.
I actually thought of We Live in Public during the show.
Really?
Yeah, you heard me gasp maybe like 10 minutes ago, and I typed it down.
Fun fact, I learned that Andy Timmoner, the director of both Dig and We Live in Public, was the first, and I think to date only winner of two
Right there.
grand jury prizes at Sundance for Dig and for We Live in Public.
I think she made Bob and the Monster too. About
Perhaps.
our friend Bob.
Bob who, Goldwait?
No, I'm drawing a
Forrest.
Bob Forrest. Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
I think she made that.
Well, this one's about internet pioneer Josh Harris and his, I guess, descent into madness. You remember he sets up this whole online, well, it's not online community. He sets up a community that lives together and broadcasts the entire thing, and it goes predictably sideways. And then his next stunt is to outfit his entire home with cameras and microphones. And his girlfriend, she doesn't like it.
No.
Yeah, she doesn't.
He goes the extra mile by putting them inside the toilet.
Oh yeah.
Like we don't need that. We don't need. And this
That's good OnlyFans though.
Predates all like reality shows as well.
Oh, this came out in 2009. This would have been early 2000.
But the story that they're talking about, like him doing this with the reality online shows, essentially predates all that stuff that we knew of.
Yep.
This movie's fascinating, especially where it winds up.
Ahead of its time.
Where it's way ahead of its time. Really, really good movie. Fascinating movie. The kind of movie you can't stop thinking about after you watch it. You don't like the characters necessarily. He's despicable to an extent.
Yeah, he's not enjoyable.
No.
He's not fun. But I will say that the movie is. I remember the movie being, for a documentary, very cinematic.
Very well shot for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good pull, Brian.
We live in public.
We live in public.
Where can one see We Live in Public?
On the screen usually.
Yeah. But I want to see a little more specifically. We live in.
Well, this is the part where Brian.
We Live in Pubic is streaming. You can rent it.
Say Hulu.
There's $1.99 on Amazon. Worth it.
Worth it. We going on to number 3, or we're going to take a quick break here?
That was my number 3.
So I guess I got to do RoboCop now. I mean, we already talked about Ed 209. RoboCop is definitely about technology. It's about a possible future, a future that I think we might get to if we don't blow each other up before we get there. But where we have half human, half cyborgs. There was already talk about this with athletes and trying to go the extra mile and
what was I going to say? Just
replacing their bones with titanium and stuff.
What are pacemakers? You know, what are the gastric bypass sleeves? But technology inside you. They're using nanobots, you know, experimentally to like work on people's brains.
And you're going to be, we talked about this, I think, last week or the week before about 3D printers and how like there is talk, they've been talking about it for years now, that we will get to a point if we continue to advance where you can, I guess you wouldn't do it in your house, but maybe if you had a nice enough, clean enough, sterile enough house. But doctors will be able to 3D print your new pancreas.
Yeah, while they got you open.
Yeah.
Hopefully before.
So it's tech versus tech. Essentially, it comes down to Murphy versus Ed 209. Ultimately, it's obviously all about tech. It takes place in Detroit, 1991. Detroit is where the shit hits the fan. Yeah. And it's supposed to be like we're just completely lawless and like over the top, and we need force. We need. It's Paul Verhoeven doing more satire, and I mean, I think everyone knows RoboCop. Unfortunately, sadly, there's the RoboCop 2, which is good. I stand by RoboCop 2. RoboCop 3, which is an abomination. Actually, Gio and I were just emailing back and forth. Gio, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude? He's like, I hated RoboCop 3. I've seen it 4 times. Why? Something along those lines. But yeah, I walked out of RoboCop 3 in theaters. But then there's also the reboot RoboCop, which I avoided.
That was very bad.
But the original RoboCop is... You've seen
many times.
Okay.
I saw it this year.
Okay, good.
Because my roommate hadn't seen it.
Oh, okay, so you had to sit down and watch it with RoboCop.
RoboCop is very enjoyable.
Very enjoyable. Stands up, right? And just the ads too.
And it's very good if you need that 80s action itch scratch too.
Because it's making fun of the other 80s movies. It's the whole thing is
I'd buy that for
a parody wrapped inside a satire that's lampooning everything, right? Verhoeven's sense of humor,
but also celebrating it
it at the same time. Yeah, it's not really It's picking all the lanes and doing them all really well.
Yeah.
So
A movie like that should be a mess, but it's actually very good.
it works.
Very sharp.
One of the most American feeling movies too.
It is very
some
American,
ways.
made by a non-American, a Dutchman, right? Verhoeven's Dutch. I think.
Dutch master.
And he's making fun of America, but it's like one of those things, like almost like Archie Bunker. Like a lot of people celebrate this movie for the wrong reasons. I think, right? They don't get the satire. I know I didn't when I first watched it. I was like, oh, this is kind of disturbing. I shouldn't be watching this movie.
This is quite violent.
1987. So actually, I was old enough to not be scared. I was still a boy, but
Old enough to know better.
just a boy.
They shoot the fuck out of him
Just
at the
a
start
boy.
of it. That is a brutal scene. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he really gets fucked up. And then there's human beings that become like bug splatter on windshields.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah.
Just explosion because he's been infected with the
Oh,
toxic
that was
waste.
merciful. That was a merciful killing.
Oh yeah.
Just explodes. I remember that really. But the creepiest thing, my brother and I were so creeped out by Ed 209.
The rotoscoping.
And yeah, just the stop motion animation.
Very
It's unnatural.
It's very unnatural and makes it all the more creepy. And like, while it is funny, him not being able to navigate stairs, at the time, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
There was something so terrifying
It's
about that
unsettling.
giant, uncontrollable creature, beast of a machine, unable to negotiate, navigate stairs. But yeah, Kurtwood Smith. I think it's the first time I'd ever seen Kurtwood Smith.
He still doesn't have hair in that.
What?
He still doesn't have a full head of hair.
I know, he's bald dead. Like,
Yeah.
He seemed like an old man when
Yeah.
I saw that movie
Yeah.
as a child.
He's probably 29 or some shit.
Probably. He's so good. He steals every scene he's in. He's so scary. Okay. RoboCop, 1987. Oh, it's all
Coming
about-
up next.
It's all about tech.
That's right. It is. I'll allow it.
Not as
Nope.
good as BlackBerry, though. I can tell you that.
Oh, wow, that's some bold praise.
It is
right
pretty
there.
bold. I don't know if I can actually stand by that.
Give us some time.
Different movies.
Let it steep. All right, thanks for that. Stick around because after the Amazon read, we'll conclude our list after this.
And if you don't listen to the Amazon read, listen to what's happening to Brian's voice lately. He becomes Poindexter. It's
really
bizarre.
mean. It's really mean.
I'm sorry.
Keep you by my side, but I know that your heart
Someone got themselves an item that I see every once in a while. Items that get purchased. I'm like, I would like one of those. I could use one of those. Someone got a Blackstone tabletop griddle advertised as useful for camping. But I thought to myself, man, that'd be fun to like take outside the backyard, do a little pretend camping trip with Tessa and make some pancakes in the morning on your tabletop griddle. Good times. All the things purchased on the Amazon banner include big week for Nintendo Switch. Apparently,
Oh, yes.
yeah. Apparently, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom was released because 2 people got the Nintendo Switch OLED model with The Legend of Zelda: Tears of Kingdom edition. 5 people got the game Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom for Nintendo Switch. 3. No one can hear that. 3 people. Oh, excuse me. 1 person got the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition. HP 15 notebook was purchased. 1 person got Black & Decker portable air conditioner. Yeah, it's that time of year. Got to load up on your AC units. Plus Tech photo scanner was purchased. 6, is that possible? 6 Skylarkin computer privacy screen filters.
Tech.
Tech, and also could be a groomsman gift.
Brian.
Unlikely. But probably
Here's a screen privacy
screen
for all
protector.
the porn we're going to look at on the
More likely
bachelor party.
don't let anyone see that who's standing by. Lee Uni Fan 3-pack. That's for building a computer, it turns out. I
Or
looked that up.
you got like 3 groomsmen.
That's true. It can be a small wedding.
Or you have a BlackBerry prototype you're trying to design.
Tack side steps for a Toyota
God, that
FJ
movie's so
Cruiser.
fun.
2.
You have 1 night to make. No, it's going to take a year to make the prototype. No, you have 12 hours.
And he just walks out.
2 Ubiquity Nano stations were purchased.
I want to watch that
Seagate-
movie with you guys right now.
Seagate desktop 8 terabyte external hard drive, 2 HP Black high yield ink combo packs, Kindle Paperwhite, $100 Xbox gift card, a Nova Culinary Precision Vacuum Sealer Pro, Nintendo Switch Online and Expansion Pack 12-month family membership, Hey Dude, men's Joe Suede shoes. Microsoft 365 Personal, someone got that. Excuse me, choked on my own spit there. Amazon Basics hanging storage organizer. Avery, shipping address labels. Oh Jesus, these fucking words are not words. Kyodoled, key storage lockbox. Rex bedding, 1400 razor blades. Careful. WTB bike saddle, and finally, on Slitty solar post cap lights were purchased.
I just need some piece of shit I can wave around.
Go draw it.
I wonder, like, how you interpret that performance if you have no idea of Glenn Howerton and his role as Dennis. I wonder if it's just like, holy shit, right?
Who is that maniac?
Yeah, like how, and it really is a travesty. Or I don't know, travesty might be a bit laying on thick, but I mean this is an example of why I don't really hold the Oscars, nearly as important as I used to as a youngster, because obviously it's very early in the year. It's only May, but I mean this is an Oscar-worthy performance.
Great.
And there's I just don't see a world where he gets recognized.
I'm just smashing the phone. Just
The payphone.
enraged.
He's such a great character, right? The more we talk about it, the more I'm thinking like he's just gonna be like an iconic character that like people who have seen and appreciate the movie will like refer to almost.
Yeah.
That's a ball silly moment.
That's so, dude, stop being so balls.
I had a ball silly moment in traffic today.
I have a lot of them.
Yeah, indeed.
He lives inside. I have a part of him that lives inside.
No, I think we all
It's
do.
very gratifying to watch him come out
And not give a shit.
and not care at all. And then just leave. Just
when
leave.
when he recognizes that he's got that Matt Johnson's got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Velcro wallet, and you just see his face just kind of like he recognizes, acknowledges it to himself.
As they're paying in change.
Here are the movies that were clicked through. This is the last time I talked to you. Evil Dead Rise is clicked through, as well as Grindhouse, Planet Terror, Grindhouse, Death Proof. King of New York was clicked through. King of New York, though. You seen that King of New York?
Nope.
Does not go down smooth.
Joyously.
Not
He
good.
says,
Guilty of Sin, as well as Cape Fear. Which Cape Fear was
Mitchum.
it? Was it the Mitchum? Or
He's
was
in
it
both,
Mitchum's in both. Yeah, he's got a cameo in the remake. What About Bob was clicked through a fault of the years. What About Bob?
What About Boob?
El Mariachi. Was it made for 10,000 or 100,000? It's confusing, but they went on to watch Desperado as well as Once Upon a Time in Mexico to complete the trilogy, the El Mariachi trilogy. Hats off to you. We did that. Mulholland Falls was clicked through. That's a tough one. That's a very tough one.
It's self-wash.
David Lynch, like he did this thing with Mulholland Falls. We talked about it on the program where he's trying to be very, very like sexy and he is successfully showing like some titillating scene, and then just smash cuts to a bloated dead black and blue body of one of the two that was involved in it. It's very, very.
Gonna give you black and blue balls.
Bryan, Once Upon Pitch Perfect 3 was clicked through, as well as Scream 6, Keanu, Tupac Resurrection, Targets, Fuck the Yes, and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was clicked through. I love the fact that somebody watched Targets and should make you feel deep shame there, Avery.
This just
Vanessa
in.
Blackberry and stuff.
Fast X is 2 hours and 21 minutes.
Seems short for a movie like that.
It's technically 7 hours because there's 3
That's
parts.
right. It's fucking Lord of the Rings ass.
There's nothing to say. There's nothing left that they have to say with this story. There's just nothing.
But they got 7
They're
hours
gonna,
to do it.
they're gonna have to drill into the earth core.
I don't know where they go. I really don't.
I bet there's some stuff about family, though.
Well, that's family's an eternal theme in
I'm
the
joking,
story of human.
Avery. I'm kidding.
Well, let's wait and see.
So you guys are seeing this Fast X. I will not be.
You must.
I will not. No,
We're still in the
Premium
Amazon
format.
read.
no, I know. That's why I'm burying it in here because I got some shame that I'm not watching it. You might say it's hurting the show. I've decided I can't win because people are like they say stop watching movies like this. You should not be talking about movies like that. And other people are like, we should hear you talk about those movies because they enrage you. I want to hear reports though from you guys, and please listen carefully to see if there is any crying in the auditorium.
Okay.
Because if you see it opening weekend, I would bet that there are some people that cry.
What if it's me?
Report. Be honest. All right. Okay.
Am I
Yeah, there was one guy crying. A very handsome, strapping man.
I think I've seen 2 of them, maybe 3.
He was on at the Wolfpack app immediately after.
I'm jealous, guys. I'm to be totally honest.
Wolfpack.
I wish that I was into this movie, this franchise.
I wish I was into this franchise.
I wish I see how Avery enjoys it, and I got some jealousy. I really do, because he's not liking it. Ironically, he truly is allowing himself to enjoy this.
It is one of the few franchises that I can fully shut my brain off and go, I love this piece of shit.
Yeah, I got some of those in my life, but not enough, and I'm jealous. I'm envious.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just said you're not in.
No, but like for the ones that are, like ones about transforming robots, for example.
Oh, I came across something when in my research for Top 5 Tech. I came across some piece of shit television program that came out like I think last year. Transformers related.
I don't know about this.
It's like 2.2 on IMDb.
Maybe that's why I don't know about it.
Well, I mean, it's Transformers, so okay.
That's hurtful.
Let's get back to it. It's not hurtful. I mean, it's just fact. All right, let's get back to the program.
All right, we're back. That was a long read.
It's a fun read.
A lot of content. Fun. I'm all about fun these days.
You always
Number
have been.
2 for me. Now you could argue this is about a person or this is about something other than tech.
Uh-oh.
What?
I'm guessing what you're doing.
There she is. The Inventor.
Oh.
Out for Blood in Silicon Valley.
I did not see this at all. You love this movie.
I really enjoyed this.
Well, did you catch up with everything else that was based around this after this succeeded the way it did?
Oh, there was like a limited series, right? With
Yeah.
Marley Shelton?
No.
No, it was whatever. Big Eyes. I can't remember the name. Anyway, I watched a little bit of it. It wasn't
Very
that good.
demeaning, dismissive.
It wasn't that good.
What is her name? I love that.
What
one.
is her name? Yeah, she's very good.
Oh, no.
Oh, is it?
Amanda Seyfried.
There
Seyfried.
you
Yes,
go.
Seyfried. Yes,
Seyfried.
From Thousand Oaks, California.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Not that good. The documentary is where it's at. 2019 film directed by Alex Gibney. It is The Inventor, Out for Blood in Silicon Valley. A profile of Elizabeth Holmes, who presided over the $9 billion Theranos and also its downfall. And it documents her downfall and its downfall. She famously hyped this machine that could take blood samples and do blood tests in Walgreens, I think was where they had them, or CVS or whatever it was. But it would prick your finger as opposed to like the more elaborate, intravenous
That movie
blood draw.
still makes no sense to me.
Why?
And the whole story makes no sense to me.
Well, it was the Emperor's New Clothes, right? Like if you just said this thing worked and it didn't, it was complete fiction, fantasy.
Right, but you'd think that the investors and the people, the venture capitalists and the people that were actually giving their money, which most of those people like their money a lot.
Indeed.
They would have their own tech people come and just take a glance at anything.
Isn't it funny?
She's like, just put the blood in this box and that's it.
Do you remember the lengths they would go through or go to fake the tests? Like they would take the blood that was taken from the machine
And they would do
run
it-
it through a reel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the stuff that had
They
to-
would go to Quest
and then-
Diagnostics. They would go down
Yeah,
to
exactly.
an actual.
Like needlessly elaborate.
Go to the
the-
CVS.
And
have
the
it
actual
processed.
machine was like frizzing out, right? When they put the actual liquid in it, it was just like literal smoke was coming out of it at one point, I think.
Yeah, it didn't
Oh,
work at all.
just destroy the samples
nothing.
immediately.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't line up. It's one of those things where it's just like it's like a
You wonder
terror
how
in the
much-
Matrix.
you
Like
wonder
this
how
story's
much-
not real.
How much did they leave out to make a compelling narrative? And it maybe some, maybe a lot, but the narrative is compelling.
Yeah, it's compelling.
That voice.
Yeah,
The voice, the makeup, the
Ugh.
turtlenecks.
it all just made me uncomfortable, but not like, oh my god, I can't believe how far this is pushing me. It's just kind of like annoying. I was
She
like,
is
annoyed
so
with-
uncomfortable.
She's uncomfortable and annoying, and the people that bought into her were annoying and uncomfortable. And it's like so much wasted time and energy for something that could have been good or should have been good or
Could have been. Could have changed the world.
I mean, obviously, it was a magic box, right?
Yeah.
And she was just found guilty recently, right? She's
I
doing
think she
going to
just
do
got
prison
out. I
time.
think she just got out. Yeah, because the New York Times did a profile, a very fluffy profile. Like, this is not the Elizabeth Holmes you know. It's like, no, it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Who fucking knows why the New York Times says anything?
Oh, they got some good stuff.
I know, but this is a feature of like the real Elizabeth Holmes. And it's like, no, we know who she is. She defrauded many people out of a lot of money.
They got a documentary series. They're halfway through the second season on, I think it's on Hulu. It's a really good New York Times documentary series. Very good. They got some great subjects.
It is sadly, the state of journalism. It is still kind of the pillar
Standard.
of journalism, right? It's still our standard that we measure journalists by.
I would say the Post probably is more so.
Washington Post?
New York Post.
Oh, the New York Post.
Daily Mail.
Or Page
Post.
6. I mean,
That's good. Okay. I stand corrected.
no, yeah, it is sad. Like, where do we stand, right? Where do we stand, Bryan?
Like this is our standard.
The only reason why I'm kind of encouraging this conversation because it's all apt, right? It's all about technology.
Oh, that's right.
And that's why we are where we are, right? It's because of tech.
Well played.
20 years ago, right? You see the future. Like somebody comes and says, "Here's the future. Like we're gonna have like the internet and free information and like anything you need to look up." You can
As you're
use
watching the first Fast and Furious.
As you're watching the. Oh my God, I know 20 years ago is not a. But I mean, if you were like a more young, innocent, Pollyannish stuff, and you, would you ever dream that people would be dumber?
Yeah.
You would never dream, right?
We'll have the
the
answer.
odds makers would never.
The answer to virtually any question is in your pocket.
Yeah.
Everyone's pocket. And yet we argue more than ever.
But because everyone's pocket has any answer they want.
That's
That's
right.
the thing. Like any answer
They'll
you're
tell you
looking
the
for,
answer you want.
anything you want to be right about, you can feel right about. That's the true beauty of the internet, I guess, is like no matter what position you have, you can feel emboldened.
So, one of the funniest things Bill Burr said is you just go to imright.com. It's such a good way
I
to
wonder
say
who
it.
owns that.
Just
I wonder which fucker owns
because
that.
it's so true. You just go to imright.com and then you find the facts you want.
It's getting scary, guys. It's getting really scary with the. We're doing that. We were talking on the after this last week about the voice, the deep fake
Fuck,
voice.
I've listened to that Joe Biden ad like 5 times.
If you're not paying
Fucking A.
attention, like it sounds just like him. That and like we're going.
You seen these shitbirds? You fucking kidding me?
The scary part initially is like, oh, they can make anyone look like they're saying anything. But the scarier part is anyone can say anything and then deny it and say, oh, that was a deep fake when they get caught for saying something. We're fucked.
True.
We're fucked. I mean,
It's the Wild West.
it's beyond the Wild West because the Wild West found laws
They had laws. They had rules.
and they got bigger buildings that were more secure and whatnot. We're just there's no putting the genie back in the bottle, is there? Like, what do we do?
This is an existential crisis.
This is the kind of question that was brought up on Lo and Behold.
I thought this might be your number one.
It's my number 2. Lo and Behold, Reveries of a Connected
Oh,
World.
they didn't love this.
I love this movie. I
I'm
absolutely
thinking of the
love
cave- the
this
cave
movie.
movie.
This is Werner Herzog trying to understand the internet and technology and the implications on humanity. Lo and Behold. And everything that I was kind of just, that was not planned. That's not how we do this show. But it all kind of ties into Lo and Behold. You've seen this, Aver?
No, but I've heard about it.
Streaming on Prime.
He follows a multitude of stories, Lo and Behold, and they're all inquisitive, and that's how Werner Herzog's mind works. He's trying to figure things out, and it all starts with the invention, the birthplace of the internet, which is some uncelebrated, lonely, incandescent, lit hallway, tiled hallway in the UCLA campus, right down the street from where we sit, and that's where it all began, essentially, this great World Wide Web that we have. And the thing that sticks out most, I think, with Lo and Behold is there's this one spot where they have these giant, I think it's, sorry, forgive me, it's been a while and I should have done a little more research on this one since this is my number 2, but I did not, full disclosure. But it's this spot, I think it's down south, like maybe in Australia somewhere, where they are looking for signals from outer space, and they have these giant dishes out there. And one of the main things that they're not allowed to have, I think it's like a 5-mile radius, is there's no frequencies to be actually distributed. So no cell phones, like no radios, no CB, nothing, right? And there's a whole ton of people that go and want to live in this little radius because they feel like they are being affected by these radio waves and these the 5G and Wi-Fi. They feel like it's going through their bones, and almost like Safe, like Todd Haynes' is Safe with Julian Moore from years ago. Like they feel like they're being affected by this, and they want to live in this wave-free zone.
5G is a real thing.
real thing. That's why you should burn down the towers and stuff because it actually caused COVID. I don't know if you heard that, but
I did.
Yeah, one of the things you can find on the internet there that tells you the truth. But yeah, it's
the answer I'm looking for.
Lo and behold, is they look at robotics. He looks at so many different technological advances, and he uses the word, and I'm using it here, like advances. Are we advancing? Like, where are we going now? And I'm not trying to be, how do you? We haven't even talked about technology and like your feel on it.
That's true.
And it doesn't really matter what you think, I guess, because it's happening. And like when you have kids, it's like, what do you?
Well, I think we have a narrow view of technology. Like I have one on my also rans, like The Current War. Like that's a movie about technology of the day and wildly advanced.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like technology is
and it replaced candles, so
it's of its era.
Yeah.
The alternating current, direct current, changed the world. Obviously, I'm not breaking any news here, but like the technology is of its time. Like we look at it as antiquated, but it was incredibly revolutionary.
We talked about it earlier, like in 2001, the ape using the bone that
totally
could be considered technology.
I
right?
agree. That was almost going to be on my list. That was too clever.
Would it have been that? I mean, the space station is technology, and it was taking a look at AI ultimately with HAL. But with lo and behold, it's funny, it's revelatory, it's scary, and it's got Werner Herzog at the helm, which makes it just. Imagine if you have not seen this movie, Werner Herzog asking the questions about technology and trying to wrap his mind around it, and
that
in
sounds
his mind,
enjoyable.
it's awesome. It's a fantastic movie. I love that. Lo and behold,
Number one for me. I was just having a conversation with the aforementioned Gina Grad off the air. So, Anderson, you haven't heard this, but she was asking how Air was. And I'm like, Air's fine.
oh my God, Air's getting way too much air time
Yeah,
on
but
the
you know
show.
what, though? Her
No,
husband,
Air was good.
her husband
Air
and
was
her
better than fine.
7-year-old are like really into basketball. So, like, she's thinking, oh, is it a fun movie to watch? I'm like, it's fine. It's good. There's nothing special. It's a TV movie, whatever. I'm like,
That's like the death nail. If I hear that coming from Bryan, that's like the death nail for any movie. It's fun. It's fine. It is what it is. I'm like, that's a movie that I will fucking hate coming from Bryan.
I mean, it's kind of true.
It's got Damon. How can you not love Damon?
Oh, we talked about the difference between Damon and Affleck. Weren't
gets
you the one
flanked.
who was telling me like that you have a friend who's
My
like,
buddy's
oh,
an
Affleck's-
idiot and goes, Affleck is the talented one, and Damon's like a dime a dozen, and there's no range. The dumbest
absurd.
fucking things he's ever said. And he stands by it. He's like, no, Affleck's the good part of Good Will Hunting. More range.
I appreciate.
Like, you're fucking high.
I appreciate the contrarian take, but that is the opposite.
It's a hot take. It's a hot take.
Yeah,
It'd be like
agreed.
coming out and saying Putin's right,
I still can't tell if he's fucking with me, and he won't give in.
Oh, he won't give it. I kind of like this
don't
guy.
know if
I'm
he's
turning a
fucking
corner
with
on
me.
this guy. I think I like
don't know
this
if
guy.
he's fucking with me.
Anyway, I said to Miss Gina Grant, I said, with every movie like Air and Tetris and all, just movie upon movie about a product or something that is just kind of okay. Well, that's that. The Social Network gets better and better in retrospect. Like it's a fine wine. It's like a fine cheese. You're like, this movie should have been boring as shit.
Yeah, we always say that.
It's my number one. Should have been boring as shit. It's
Movie about
procedural.
Facebook? What?
Procedural about business and Harvard and the Facebook and who wants to see that? And it ends up being the best film of the decade, or at least one of.
Yeah, one of.
Incredible achievement.
Fincher.
And it's funny. Regina said, what do you think that is? I'm like, world class director did this, and just a guy did this.
Army Hammer.
Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer was good. I don't think Armie Hammer has ever been better.
Speaking of which, we're doing top 5 actors we think are probably dicks
Interesting.
on the Patreon only
That is a
episode
good one.
this month. I had to listen to an episode from 2011 at 1.75 speed. That's about as high as I can go with our show as
Why?
far as when scrubbing, when listening for something. That's a long story. I'll tell you off there. But I was listening to us do a hour-long program at 1.75 speed while taking pictures of merchandise that we picked up in Vegas
All
recently.
right.
And you brought up like we should do that one day, like top 5 actors that we think are dicks. I'm like, you know what? That's a great happy
topic.
accident that I stumbled across this. So we'll be doing that for our Patreon only episode this month.
All right.
And it's all going to be conjecture. It can't be people that we've actually met.
I was going to say that seems like cheating.
Can it? Can it be people that we met that we're still not sure? Because
Didn't you out that though already with the shittiest guests?
Yeah, that was different though, because I actually talked about people that were shitty.
I think we can get away with just doing,
People we never met. There's
reputed.
I know that we're
dicks.
we're LA types, and we're in circles.
I think you can do things you've heard.
I think we're capable of pulling 5 actors we've never met.
You know what? I accept your challenge.
I was thinking about doing dead people because they can't defend themselves, but no, let's just do top 5 actors, dead or alive, that we think are probably dicks.
Can do.
We can do all sorts of we think are cool.
That's right.
We think are dumb.
We'd like to hang with.
Yeah.
You think you're dumb?
We think are stupid as can be. We think are
Who do
deviants.
you think is the dumbest actor
I've
to ever
heard
be famous?
so many things about Ernest Borgnine. I love him as an actor, but I've heard so many things. I've heard a lot of things.
I met an actor. Oh, how much did I say? There was a guest.
I really hope he's dumb. That'd be so.
Borgnine? I've heard, dude. Read a few things. Speaking of which, that Yogi Berra documentary looks great. Does it not?
It does. I didn't think you'd be interested in it.
It looks interesting.
It does.
He's not singing folk songs, so I'm going to like it.
There is
It's not about music,
there
though.
was a guest on the old Adam Carolla
you-
show. during
Top
my-
5
during
dead
my-
dumb actors.
during-
Stupid as fuck dead actor. Just how cruel is this show? And their heirs.
and their silence.
And there's a dumb DNA they left behind that's still alive. Okay. All right. So, so we've narrowed it down. There's only so many people that you've said too much, Brian. There's only so many people that have been on that
Yeah,
program.
I'm going to leave it there.
No.
No, because
No.
the universe, by interrupting me so many times.
The
is
universe
telling
is
me-
not saying
telling
anything.
me to
We had a
drive-
fun moment. All right. It was good for the show. Now continue on with what's better for the show, which is something you
there
have to
was
say.
an actor who came in
You see how I work towards ego.
to the
Yeah.
to the Carolla show,
Right.
who I liked, was a good guest, but I think afterwards we were all in agreement.
That.
I'm gonna need this name off air.
This person might not have been that smart.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's worse, smart or a dick? I mean, dumb or a dick? What's worse?
I
dick.
think a dick is
Yeah,
worse.
Yeah?
because dumb you can be just
But if you
affable
are that
and-
person, what would you least rather be?
I'd rather be a dick than be dumb.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because you can change being a dick.
Given the choice,
'Cause I already like Fast and Furious.
You don't have many cells to play with.
I'll tell you guys off here.
Yeah. Is it Ben Stein?
No, Ben Stein's very smart.
Ah.
Is it Dr. Drew?
No,
It was Dr. Drew, right?
no, of course not. Drew's very smart. You guys are barking up the wrong tree.
Was it Ernest Borgnine?
It was not Ernest Borgnine.
Number 1 for you. You wrote it
All right,
down.
yeah, social number.
Speaking of dumb, huh?
Yeah.
Upgrade.
Upgrade.
Number 1 for
This
me
is your tech.
is number 1 is
You know what?
Upgrade. It's
You
a
know
tech
what?
movie.
It is. I will absolutely allow this because the whole thrust of the film is tech versus not tech. You know what I mean? Like embracing technology versus resisting
The
technology.
entire theme from the beginning of the movie is
Even though the technology
tech.
is absurd.
He loses his wife because of a self-driving car, right? And he's a grease
like-
monkey who likes to just hang out in the garage and work on his old
He's tinkering.
He tinkers. He tinkers with actual mechanics because he does not like the zeros and the ones. But then once the accident happens and he's
Left in the state he's left in.
he needs STEM. He needs STEM to be implanted in his neck.
I told
give him-
Carolla to watch this with his son. It was a good
Did
movie.
he do it?
I don't know if he ever got around
Oh
to
my!
it.
He would love this
Yeah,
movie.
it was a good movie.
This is a movie made for Carolla. Upgrade is one of the most satisfying movies you will ever fucking see. It is so much fun.
It's enjoyable.
Now, Leigh Whannell.
Lee Whannell.
Lee Whannell.
Leigh
I should know how to say his name. I'm not good with names. He came out with a similar movie just a couple years after this in
Saw?
Invisible Man.
Oh.
Fuck, that is good.
And Invisible Man is also a tech movie, right? Ultimately, but not nearly as much of a tech movie as Upgrade. And Upgrade saying a whole lot of things. It's right there in the title. It's all about upgrading and what are we upgrading to. And Lee Whannell.
What's his next one?
Leigh
What's the next
Whannell.
one
It's
coming
Lee
out?
Whannell.
It's Leigh. I'm gonna go with
Lay.
Lay it on me.
You've heard of people named Lee. Have you heard of a person named Lay?
Now I have because it's Leigh Whannell.
Oh, there
The
you
guy, the
go.
director of this movie. I've heard of him. The Green Hornet and Kato. Jesus. That's what
Is
he's
that,
in development.
is that an effective use of his time?
Who knows, though? I mean, look what he did with the Invisible Man. You know,
Yeah, that's a very
Right?
good point.
And before Upgrade, he did Insidious Chapter 3. For those of you who have not seen Upgrade, I'll just leave it at that. Watch Upgrade and enjoy.
That'd be a fun one to do a watch along with.
Would it?
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. It's a fine line because I don't want to like talk over like masterpieces, and this movie's a fucking masterpiece. This movie is one of the most satisfying movies I've ever seen. Like when he's kicking ass, you're just like, fuck yes, right? It's just so. It's the ultimate story of like where the bully becomes friends with the kid that needs protection, and then they team up until it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Make what
So
a
good.
duo. It's you know what? It just occurred to me. It's what Venom should have been.
Well, that's the funny thing too, and I'm glad you brought that up. Is that Lay 1L? He claims to not be familiar with Venom, and this came out around the same time as Venom. And Venom is a story that's been around for decades. Ask Gio, and ask me now because I've been watching all the Spider-Man cartoons. It is Venom. It's just a different version of Venom, and I love how he says, "Yeah, I'm not really familiar with Venom, so
Well,
it's
inner
just
space,
coincidental."
right?
What?
I mean, it's inner space. That's the same.
Inner
construct.
space, like the movie.
Yeah, with the
No.
guy. No, he's inside his head. He's
Yeah, but
talking
inner
to him.
space is like they're actually cruising around the body like it's its own planet.
I'm saying it's the same construct of a buddy movie where one's inside the other.
It's exceptionally different, but it's about control. It's all about control of a different vessel and,
Go on.
not having free will. That's what it's all about.
It's like Osmosis Jones.
Have you seen
Thank you.
Upgrade?
Will.
Have you seen Upgrade?
Yeah, Upgrade's great.
Okay,
Upgrade's tight.
so
I liked Invisible Man more, but both were great.
Upgrade is so much.
Upgrade
more
was very
satisfying.
good, but Invisible Man blew me away at how good it was because he had less to work with there. I thought.
with Upgrade.
No, with Invisible Man.
He definitely had less. I thought story wise or budget.
In terms of like where he could go with it, almost, I thought he was going to be so boxed in with just how do you make something compelling about just a fucking Invisible Man?
yeah, I mean, yeah, as far as the expectations.
Upgrade, a souped up dude. I feel like sky's the limit, but just a fucking invisible guy.
At the time when it came out too, in what was it, 2018? It's like the same year that Venom came out, I think, with my boy Tom Hardy and Logan Marshall Green is like a version of Tom Hardy. He's like
Yes.
the independent version of
He's
Tom
like,
Hardy,
he's like
right?
B-movie Tom Hardy.
Yeah, and it's funny
Like
because
Sci-Fi Channel Tom Hardy.
the two of them, if you were to merge somehow and only take the greatest parts of both movies, which would be like 95% Upgrade and 5% Venom, like it's a perfect movie. And they also have like very similar leads, right? So, anyways, Upgrade is,
But no, Upgrade is great. It was very enjoyable.
and it's all about the struggle against technology. And, Upgrade number one. Also Rand's listener list.
The listener list compiled by Mitch Burns. Number 5 is Short Circuit.
Same director as
War Games?
War Games, yeah.
Oh, I've been that.
Number 4, Minority Report.
Yeah. Fantasy.
We just brought that up too, like with one death. One death. And we're going to.
This highly successful program that has saved hundreds of lives is now canceled because someone on the inside tried to get away with it.
Elaborately spoofed it.
Yeah.
It was when we were musing about the idea.
Something that cannot be repeated.
Ever.
Like every time a war breaks out, a skirmish breaks out anywhere in the world, like you drop like a large metal pod that releases MDMA in mist form to make everyone chill and be cool, but it killed like one old man or something because it landed on his head. But it stopped all wars, and then they shut down the entire program. So wars just
Throw it
killed that
out.
one guy.
That's Minority Report.
Throw it out. Number 3 is a two-way tie between RoboCop and Upgrade.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, now we're talking.
Upgrade. Similar too.
Number 2, War Games. And number 1 is Ex Machina.
I could see that. Yeah, that's a big winner. And
I love that movie.
yeah, I felt guilty not having it on my list. It just doesn't bring me the same joy as the 5 that are on my list. Like if I was doing top 10, Ex Machina is absolutely on it.
Oscar Isaac's so good.
He is so good.
There's a lot of joy with that.
There is
the
a
dancing.
lot of joy.
Good dancing.
He's gonna tear this,
Tear the dance floor.
tear this.
Tear this dance floor.
The end is one of the most bleak, the bleakest endings. Sexy bleak endings.
You know what? Actually, you know what? That's one that actually is a sexy bleak ending.
Yeah.
I
There's
guess
a link to
technically
McCain
there is
running
some
around.
there's some sex appeal there. Yeah. I hope he comes back with a better movie because that last one, Men, was just
I need to rewatch Annihilation.
Annihilation fucking rules.
I've only seen it once, and I was blown away.
I like it
loved
more than Ex Machina.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
It would.
Do you too?
I do.
I think we're all in the minority,
Although
guys.
I think Annihilation's more uneven. It has more high points.
I agree. Yeah. That bear. We got to do top 5 worst sounds ever.
Top 5 haunting
The end,
sounds.
just the end, fucked my brain in half.
The end was like, you know what it was like? It was like, I equated it to 2001.
Yeah.
Like it just kept going. And then he
And
outdid
what am
himself
I
with Men.
seeing?
Men actually went further with the end as far as it just kept going. I'm like, I get it, dude. You're a nesting fucking doll. You're a nesting pervert. I get it. You continue to give birth to yourself in different form. I get it. And it just kept going and going. It's like, how is the studio allowing this to go on? But yeah, Annihilation, like it's like the end of 2001. I don't know.
You need to see Debs. He did that is we'll scratch that same itch. He did just a limited series. I think it's 6 episodes on Hulu. It's with Nick Offerman, and it's about technology in Silicon Valley, and it's so good. I would say it's as good as Ex Machina and Annihilation.
So Devs is like the self-contained.
He did a 1-episode TV show that's like 6 or 8
Who's
episodes.
he?
Alex Garland.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I read about that.
It's phenomenal.
What's he
And
doing? What's he doing?
It stars the
I'll not be seeing that.
the Oscar Isaac, the woman who's dancing with him in Ex Machina. She's one of the leads.
Vikander. I think I saw
No,
the
no,
first
Not
episode.
Vikander, the other one, the
other one.
Asian woman.
I think I saw the first episode.
It's
of this.
very, very good,
All right.
and it's nice and quick. It's like 6 or 8 episodes. Very, very good.
What you know of Jillian?
Would she like? I mean, would she like Ex
Would she-
Machina or Annihilation?
Okay, she got mad at the wasabi scene in Succession this last week. She's like, "What is this show?" I'm like, "Fucking hilarious! The show is hilarious." It's Lemon LaCroix. It's medical. She was
She
upset.
like fucking wasabi or lemon juice in his eye, Greg.
Little Greglets.
No, you're my Greg today.
What?
You're
What?
back down to
You're back to Greg. What is there a chance that they do a spin-off with those two? I
That'd be
would
great.
watch them just go to sporting events, watching the sporting event.
Yeah,
That's the entire show.
They retire
Is-
and they just are their friends.
and they're just like sitting in like a owner's box watching.
They're back on the dating scene. They're just,
Oh my god, on Wolfpack.
Wolfpack. All right, let's gamble. We got this shit up.
Yeah, last week.
Devs. Oh, okay,
It's
I gotta
very
look at Devs.
fucking good. Devs is must watch, especially if you're waiting for another Alex Garland. I would say it's as good as those 2 movies are.
I think I watched the first episode.
It's very good. Last week we gambled on Fool's Paradise. Anderson guessed 75, Bryan 71.
Oh,
Shit.
wow.
With
was
29
embarrassing.
reviews, the actual score is 14,
I don't like saying that out loud.
making Bryan the winner. That is one of the biggest disparities in a
Really
while.
is.
It doesn't. I think what critics are doing, and it's what you and I did as well, is like what could have been, because there's so much there, right? With
Yeah.
Fool's Paradise, like you could see the idea, and you could see the amount of people that gave themselves to this.
Yeah,
movie.
subscribed.
It seems almost like a George Lucas type thing. That too many people were just saying yes, like this works. Like somebody should have said maybe it needs punching up, maybe it needs a little more of this, maybe this joke needs a punchline. Maybe you should do a little something more with that character. I don't know. It's just there was so much there, and it just needed to be tightened. And
It had potential, but there you go. DOA.
so sad.
It is sad. All right, let's. Are we assigning films again, or are we still doing?
No, we're still behind because of you. So,
Jeez Louise.
geez, Louise. Plus, this was your idea to open it up to the listeners for a certain tier. So,
No, I feel bad about that. All right, let's go. What do we gamble on?
We are gambling on the aforementioned
Oh,
3-parter, Fast X.
Fast X Part 1.
Fast X.
Devs.
How high do I go?
Devs.
From what you know of my wife, would she? I mean, she loves Black Mirror, and if we were doing TV shows as well, like Black Mirror is number one. But yeah,
It's very trippy and dark and fucked up, and there's a bit of a mystery element to it too, where you're trying to figure out what's going on. It's kind of like Annihilation in that way, where Ex Machina you kind of know, but Annihilation you're trying to figure out what is going on in that world and what is even happening. What am I seeing? That's more how Devs feels.
Devs. We didn't do also rants, Barbara.
Oh, do we have to?
I don't know, but have to is the right word here, but we probably should. I mean,
I considered The Dark Knight. There's a lot of technology in that movie.
there's that one scene where they try and get all like on the soapbox about information.
Oh, the
Oh, no,
echolocation.
I
yeah.
meant, yeah.
I did not like that. Did not work for
Or
me.
Batman Begins.
I don't like when people say that did not work for me. But that did not work for me.
Some people deserve to have their faith rewarded.
Good going.
This is Morgan Freeman's pulling the plug.
Some movies that should have been mentioned that were not mentioned so far. Her, which I mentioned on the Flick Fashion episode. Existenz, The Fly, and pretty much anything David Cronenberg
That's
does
true.
is Lawnmower Man. Metropolis. I almost went super hipster with you.
Wow.
Even watched 20 minutes
Fritz
of the movie.
Lang's.
I've not seen it. It's visionary for sure, but I just could not get myself on that hipster train. But Metropolis is fantastic.
I mentioned The Current War.
The Matrix.
Of course.
I mean,
Gattaca.
Pi.
Give it up for Gattaca.
Gattaca, but it's more about relationships than it is.
All
about
right.
I mean, the technology is to tell the story of sibling rivalry.
A lot of documentaries. Remember Particle Fever about the Hadron Collider? It's about the Large Hadron Collider trying to find the
that
God
could
particle.
ruin our.
That was a theory. It never
entire-
did, but yeah, it's
yeah.
interesting.
Ron's gone wrong.
Let's go.
I mean, that entire story is about technology.
Charles and Bryan. Bryan and Charles.
Oh yeah, technology. Charles Patescu,
The founder.
the founder. Is that technology? I mean,
Fast
I guess
food.
it's
They're making
fast food,
his
like
own machines.
That's what separated McDonald's.
It's a stretch.
More about big business. Yeah. All right. Anything
Yeah.
else, Brian? Oh, BlackBerry. BlackBerry.
Atari Game Over.
What is that?
What was that?
I did not see. E.T., the worst video game in the world.
That's right.
That is technology.
That is.
All
That
right.
was enjoyable.
All right, let's get out of here. I feel like this is the
We get a
maybe
gamble.
the
Fast
worst,
X.
worst
Fast X.
episode we've ever done.
Fast X.
This is such a tough one to do because the critics know, like we've said, like with Fast X or Fast 9.
And they always reward.
It's not going to be less than 94.
Yeah, they
or
always
14.
reward the final, in the
Well, it's
epic
not the
series.
final.
It's not. It's
Good
So
point.
that's the
how-
thing.
what's I know penultimate, antepenultimate is the second to the
Third
last.
to last.
What is, yeah.
Antepenultimate's second to last.
Penultimate is second to last. Anti-penultimate, I believe, is third to last.
So this would be the anti-penultimate then.
There you go.
Oh, so the ultimate is the last. Okay,
Yes.
so this is the antepenultimate. Okay, yeah. Fuck, I knew that.
That'll give it some points.
You
I
were
had
there. You were
I had an
there.
uncle who he gave me that word when I was a kid because he knew that my dad loved vocabulary, and he's like, try this one on. Ask him if he knows what antepenultimate means, and he told me, and now here I am, 30 years
Relaying it to
later,
me.
fucking it up.
Yeah,
God, I'm sorry, Uncle Evan.
I know what you meant.
All right, God, what do you do with this? I mean, I saw Aquaman doing his thing. I told you I ran into Aquaman once in my local gas station. He was wearing
Fishnet.
no, he had his kids in the car.
Did he seem like a dumb dick?
He seemed like a really cool, nice guy.
What a combo.
It was a really. I'm drawing a blank on his name. What was his name?
Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa. Momoa.
It was like a Sunday or something. I walked across the street because it was like in my little neighborhood where I could like walk half a block and across the street. So I was like kind of off. It was a little bit. It was quiet. It was quiet. He was the only one in there in his classic car. It was like the kind of car that Ernest Borgnine might have been driving around in Escape from New
Because
York.
he's trying to read street signs
Yeah, Ernest Borgnine. That is.
and count the dollars in his wallet.
And he had two of his
S
kids in there.
top?
And he was putting air in his tires of his classic car, and he was wearing pants that looked like they were on the rack in a costume a room for like a prisoner. They were black and white striped,
Okay.
right, and way too big for him. And he just had a big smile on his face, and he was just enjoying his Sunday. And he seemed like such a nice, happy guy.
There you go.
Anyways, he doesn't look good in this movie.
He does not look happy in this.
No, he's looking to even the score, which involves death of a family member.
All right.
Brie Larson's going to be used effectively.
She disappoints. She was
And
on
replace.
Loveline. She was on Loveline, promising to only do independent movies and not to do like the big giant. She promised. She's like, those movies just don't interest me. I'm only going to do small independent movies because I love.
Well, she
cinema.
stayed true to her word.
Well, she enjoyed the Nissan ad so much. She was like, let me drive him faster on film.
All right, I got a number.
As do I.
Sorry if that died. Added nothing. I realized
Yeah,
that.
quite a bit.
They were prison pants. Like the
I've
old timey
heard.
prison.
Like a
gang.
chain gang.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like a ball and chain, literally strapped to his ankle.
I was watching a football game the other day, a soccer game. The one team, they're all refs. That was their.
Oh, they're striped.
They used to be white and yellow stripes, but now they're black and white stripes. And there are a bunch of refs out there running around.
Is this Ted Lasso?
No, it was actual soccer.
Oh.
Football on the pitch. All right, I got my number on 3. 1, 2, 68.
49. Ooh, I'm going low on this one.
That's hateful.
I've sold my shares. What are
The
you at?
last one was
68?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
With 0 views.
Oh,
shit.
boy.
That's
No
the new
score.
thing that that used to mean something. It doesn't mean something anymore.
I think it means something.
I don't think it doesn't. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Let's wrap it up. Avery, how excited are you for Fast X?
Pretty excited.
Hold on. Guardians of the Film Vault.
I'm excited for Beastmaster. That'll be a good time. I'm also excited for Nausicaa in the theater. I'm so lucky because I was like saying, hey, it sucks that I saw this movie like on my TV at home, Nausicaa. Like I should have seen this in the theater. I really wish that I had a chance to. And then, lo and behold,
There it is.
a couple months later, it's playing in the theater. All right.
Is that Logan? Oh, I can't see who that is.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. I felt bad. Guardians of the Film Vault. Well done. Mitch Burns with
His
the
first
art.
entry.
Oh, I was just about to say, I've not seen too much from Mitch Burns. I'm happy to report that Mitch has come with a strong effort. Wait, who's in the top right?
I think it's Mitch.
Oh, is
in
that
there
Mitch
somewhere.
himself?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Sneaking yourself in an Easter egg. Hitchcock-esque. Well done, Mitch. Anderson, you see this?
I have.
Well done, Mitch.
I'm
Check it out
I'm
over at
lying through my teeth.
AndersonandBryan.com is where you see Mitch's effort. Excellent job, buddy. Second Dam is our featured artist. Check them also out at AndersonandBryan.com. And that's where the Amazon banner lives. Go ahead and tap that. Keep supporting the show. It costs you nothing and helps us out. So appreciate you. Thank you. Patreon.com/thefilmvault. Our watching along will be Wednesday and of next week. And it will be the Beast Master. Master of Beasts. Anderson and Bryan is the TikTok. It's also the Instagram. The Film Vault on Facebook and Twitter. The Film Vault podcast on YouTube. Thanks all of our Patreon listeners. We appreciate you guys. Giovanni, thanks for your help with the show. Mitch Burns, couldn't do it without you. Mike Cole, appreciate you. Eric Kath, keep killing it over on YouTube. Check out Annie's Antiques. Check out loadedfrombeardoc.com. Come support that. Help it get to its, I wouldn't even say goal. I was just saying help it get over the top.
Yeah, we're very close to actually getting money in the account so that I can actually pay some people. But yeah, much more to come with loadedforbear.com as we move down. Hopefully next week I'll have some.
Do you want me to talk to my guy?
Yeah, you might need to talk to your guy if I don't see any money soon.
I mean, they're a for-profit business, so you're going to see less than
They're
inflation.
not.
It's the opposite. All right, thanks, everyone. Appreciate you. Until next time.
We do it for Van Gogh.